Edmund, be quiet. Okay, so move to your groups from yesterday, you all, so we can get this started. Spawning, which topic were you on? Because it just blanked out. So tell me what was the topic?
We were on the second question.
I have the paper because I was
Go right up to him. He'll give you a copy. Emsley, heads up for me. I'm just gonna be able to see this. See where we were. Alright, Emsley, you're good. You can sit down, Evelyn. You're good.
That's my paper.
Alright, guys, sit down so we can get started. Let's go. Let's go. Quickly. Alright.
Make sure you have that question sheet on you, okay? Because on the back there are exit questions. And I'm going to make sure I get answers from everybody on those exit questions, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. We already touched on it for a second. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to talk about this. Real quick, what are the Federalists? What do they care about? Right. And how do they want the national government to be? Okay, perfect. So Federalists want a stronger national government. Now they don't want a national government that controls everything. They just want a national government that's what? Equal, and also maybe in certain things a little bit not equal, but right, stronger, more powerful. Right. What do the Anti-Federalists care about? Separation of the states. In particular, in what sense? How do they want the states? Yes. And how do they want the states to be? Do they want the states to be equal to the government? Yeah. They want the states to be what? Right. More powerful. They want us individuals.
Pardon the interruption. All chorus students that are going to the honor choir field trip today, please meet Ms. Judd on the star by the office.
All right. So here's the question: who should control school rules and funding, the national government or each state? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to talk about it. What's up? Another paper. On to the choir. All right. So go ahead and talk about it. Remember, the winner of these arguments gets a prize. Okay? So talk about it in your group. Discuss what your guys would want to do, and then try to argue. And then you're going to choose one person to argue. Okay? So now 2 minutes. All right. Choose one person from your group to argue. Choose one person from your group to argue. Dean, all right, come on. Stand up right over here. Right over here. This is good right here. All right. So this is more of an anti-federalist position. So what's your argument first?
The states should provide for their schools. If the states need something, like more farmers, they can build a more personalized.
Farmers?
Like if they need farmers or something in the region.
Farmers are in school.
Yeah, but they can teach them how to do that. Like more math that helps farming.
Okay, and Federalist, what is your response?
Ours is that the national government should control, like, the budget of, like, to control the school. Because, like, they can, like, give every state and every school, like, equal amount of, like, a budget. Like, the teachers get everything, like, so they don't have to complain. The kids are all, so it's not unfair. They have all the same things, so that doesn't cause, like, problems. And then, that, like, every kid has the same amount of education too. So there's like more like, cause there's like schools out there that like states with lower money, like that don't have enough money than other states. And so those states might not be able to provide their schools like a good amount of money. So like the government can provide the states all the same money. So every kid has the same amount of education.
Okay, and anti-federalist, what would you say to that? That might be the case, but what would you say, expand on that farmers part?
They need to have a more personalized
Education, right?
They need to fill more personalized jobs for the position. If they're lacking something, the schools can find a way to incorporate that into learning.
And who out of the two sides probably is going to know their kids better? Is the national or the states? Probably the states. So that's their argument. That's good, guys. That right there is exactly the split today in education. You've got some people in the national government saying we need to make things equal across the board because some states like Kentucky and Mississippi and Louisiana are less wealthy than states like Massachusetts, California, and New York. So we need to make it equal. But those states are saying, hey, we know our kids better. Let us handle it and let us control it. So good job, guys. That's exactly the split. So let's move on to the next question. Great job. Great job.
I don't even know what I wrote.
All right. Question number 3. Make sure you're filling out those question sheets, guys. Question number 3. Should the federal government be in charge of health measures like in a pandemic? Wow, that's so relevant for today. COVID is a perfect example of this, guys. In fact, this is a picture of a COVID ward in New York at the start of the pandemic when it was getting really, really bad. So go ahead and talk about this question, and come up with an answer, okay? Should the federal government, the national government, be in charge of health measures like in a pandemic? Not only in a pandemic, but also hospitals in general. Should the federal government be in control of all the hospitals? I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes, okay?
Let's say like there's a bunch of people like that are done and then what they need.
Yes, sir. We still got about 25 minutes before we got to clean up. Sounds good. So go till about 10 after.
They can keep it safe.
Make sure you guys share your answers with the rest of the class, with your group, so that you guys can make sure you check them. Because I'm going to be challenging your arguments, okay? So I'm going to give you about 45 more seconds, all right?
They know they
All right, choose one person from your group. No? Okay. Who's from this group?
Malachi.
Come on, you got a good argument. Let's hear it, come on.
Malachi, give it a shot, man. Come on. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Especially because nobody has said, everybody is talking about what they know best, and nobody has said what Malachi has said yet, which is really important for the Anti-Federalists. So, let's start with the Federalists. You respond to their argument. So what's your argument, Federalists?
All right, guys, listen up.
The government could provide the money to different states. Let's say that richer states or richer places can provide the healthcare to their people, but other places that might not have that kind of healthcare for the people, and they're not able to support their people with that kind of help, then like the national government should provide the money and stability to help their people, obviously. And if the other states are keeping vaccines to themselves because they have a bunch of people that are also sick, and what if they're not going to provide other states with that kind of help?
So you're basically saying not only can the federal government send more money to the states, but if a state is doing something that's a little shady, the federal government can crack down and make sure that state's doing what they're supposed to. Now, what would the response be to a federalist, especially or an anti-federalist, especially with that last point, the federal government cracking down? What would you say? Right. Right. So that would be what? An example of what? Tyranny. Right. So Malachi has a really solid point, which nobody has really talked about, in which if Thomas Jefferson was here, that would probably be the first thing he would say to Alexander Hamilton. Is, you know what that sounds a lot like? That sounds like what? A federal government cracking down on a state. You just said it. Yeah, tyranny. It sounds like tyranny. And so that would be a huge argument. You don't want the government in control of your business in a state or in a local community. What if they think that it should go one way and you know it should go the other? And they say, that's really interesting that you have this opinion, but I don't care because I'm the federal government. And that's really an argument where we see a lot of people are scared of the vaccines. Now, should they be? No, but they are, and the federal government can't really address that. So it's this dichotomy and this fear between the little people and the government when both are trying to help each other. And that fear is really inherent to this argument. The Anti-Federalists are very afraid of the national government because they've seen how bad a government can be. And the national government says, no, we're not like that because we're you. We're made up of you. We're just trying to make the best decisions. So that's a perfect example. Both of you win that one because that's two completely different arguments, right? And both are extremely real. They're very valid. Very good job. All right, next question. Is a strong national army better than each state having its own military for defense? Now, not only is it, am I talking about overseas, but really think about at home. If there is a big group of criminals at home and you need an army to fight them, would it be better to have a state army, a militia, or a national guard, or would it be better to have a national army? Okay, so think about that and talk about it. All right? You guys, think about the concept of guerrilla fighting. Remember when we talked about versus the Patriots and the British? The Patriots were really good at fighting like that. Why? Because they lived there. They had the people, they lived in that area. They knew all of the little creeks and they knew all the little hiding spots, okay? So think about that when you think about the Anti-Federalist position and the state position, okay?
Hey, what's up? Yeah. Yeah.
Why do I keep touching it on my video?
Yeah, give him because he needs position for the alien baby stuff project. So give him one to and I was gonna shut down these two.
Stop looking at your
Alright, so we can double check, but you're helping the second part of that. Alright, so I'll come down to the second break here. Okay. I'll come down real quick. And I'll show
people in your state, you probably know the state better than anyone.
So I would say for time, this one would be the last one, give it about 5 minutes. Wrap it up.
Yes, you're the one that was over there.
Okay, I'll go. Some shit is like really good. It's smaller, so like Georgia, like they have like
So discuss those two, come up with something that's a combination, you have a really good argument. You guys working it out? This is a big one because this is really a big thing. We're starting the Constitution, okay? Alright, I'm gonna give you guys 30 more seconds. Make sure you choose somebody new to present the argument, okay? Make sure you throw that.
Beckham, I need to take that from you, buddy. Beckham? Edmund? Don't be my ding dong.
All right. Choose a Federalist, choose an Anti-Federalist. Somebody new. Okay. You got a very good argument. Come on. You got it.
You got it.
had a very good argument.
You got it.
And you had an argument that's one of the most important aspects of this divide between those guys back then and now. Okay? So stand right over here. All right. So I'm going to start with the Federalist position. What's the Federalist position? In mention, I know what state you had in our last activity. Mention that because you mentioned it to me. So give me an example. What's your position?
You said like the states like Georgia, it's like a smaller population, like Georgia and like Rhode Island, and like their state would have like it would be unfair because they didn't have as bigger like opportunities to like have a better army protect like Georgia would have to implement these on the board.
Okay. That's perfect, and that's a really solid connection to what we did yesterday, right? Georgia and Pennsylvania, to a lesser extent, are perfect examples of this, right? They don't have the army, they need all of the people from all of the states to come together. That's less of a problem now because we have so many people in the United States, but back then, huge problem. So an anti-federalist would say what to their proposition of a national army?
If the national military has more power, then they'll probably take over and won't listen to anybody else. So they need their own smaller militias in order to have strong.
Right. So that is an amazing argument. In fact, that is an argument that Thomas Jefferson literally talked about. Because who were they before they were Americans? What country did they belong to? British. And the British had a revolution in the 1600s and a civil war where they started basically a republic. Well, guess what happened to that republic? Some guy named Oliver Cromwell took over and he became a military dictator. Now you got to remember, what are the founding fathers? These guys are really, really what? Smart. They're smart. They read a lot. And these guys know what history is like. So for an anti-federalist, especially somebody like Thomas Jefferson, who's so smart and reads so much, he hears about a national army, a really strong national army, and the first thing he says is, what does that sound like? That sounds like what? Tyranny. It sounds like tyranny, and it sounds like exactly what happened when our old country tried to do a republic. So that is an amazing argument. Now, what would you say to a tyranny argument? So the argument is, okay, we give the national army a lot of power, but what's to stop a general like George Washington or like General Grant in the Civil War or General Eisenhower in World War II from saying, you know what, I like being in power. Well, that's it. Now I'm the boss. So what would you say to stop that? And this is a really important thing that the Federalists talked about. They talked about what? In making sure government is equal. It says it on your sheet, okay? They believed in what? We see this with the three branches. Help each other out. We see it in the three branches. We see it in the judiciary,
Balance, checks and balances.
checks and balances. Exactly. If everybody in your country swears no to the Constitution and votes and all cares about making sure the government stays the same, then nobody's going to overthrow the government. Now, I would say people did that in Latin American countries, and look what happened. Latin America is just like that. So that's a really solid argument. In fact, that is the exact argument Thomas Jefferson had. So very good job, guys. That one is also equal, okay? That is a perfect equal argument between you guys. So what we're going to do now, you guys can go back. Amazing job. Everybody, really, really solid. The exact points you guys came up with and the exact points you guys came up with are exactly what the Founding Fathers yelled and screamed and beat each other up about. They were not nice to each other at all. Alexander Hamilton hated Thomas Jefferson's guts. And Washington hated both of them because all they would do is argue all the time. So what I'm going to do now is on your answer sheet, there are exit questions. Everybody needs to answer those exit questions, okay? Go ahead and take some time. There's no right or wrong answer. Answer what you think is correct, okay? And then we're going to move on to a quiz similar to the one that we did at the start. But now you all will be able to actually do it, okay? You'll have the information to fill it out. So work on that exit slip for a little bit. How much time do we have?
We still have about 13 minutes. How long will this the Google Form little quiz take?
No.
Not long. A couple minutes? A few minutes?
If we want, we can do another rapid fire. Like leave the PowerPoint up, they can all sit down.
Okay.
And then we can rapid fire the.
Yeah, and it's no big deal. It's no big deal. We can just have them answer those real quick and then do that, and then they're good. It's completely up to you.
Like I said, guys, just answer the questions. There's no right or wrong answer. Just answer how you view them, what you've learned, okay? And when you're done, go ahead and when you're done with those questions, put them on your desk. I'll go around and collect them and open up your Chromebook, okay?
And y'all, when you finish the questions here on Chromebook, he's talking right here on Friday. Just click where it says quiz, okay? It's the last link that is on Friday, okay? So open that up. Once you finish those questions, you can go ahead and take that quiz. so he can get his data collected there, okay?
And once you finish that quiz, you're done for the day, okay?
Mr. Spalding, you good with this? Think you're good? You want to leave it?
For a second.
Okay, cool.
Once we do the quiz.
Sounds good.
Yo, y'all gotta go to the first. Some only people out there.
Make sure you answer all 3 questions, okay, guys?
When's it turn to 7?
Yeah, just once you're done, open up your Chromebook. That's how I know you're ready, okay?
Well, we didn't get it. We didn't have that stuff to get it now. Everybody's turn to 7?
And don't worry about the other questions. Those are just the other situations that we were going to have. Because of time, we're not able to finish all of the situations, okay? So just answer the 3 exit questions on the back. Okay, got the sheet for me?
When you guys finish those questions, hand them to Mr. Spalding. So he gets those, he collects those. And then go ahead and log on again to Canvas, you all. Go down to where it says quiz on Friday. Answer the questions that he has on that little Google form. Okay, it won't take you very long. Okay? Yep, give the questions to him. Okay, hand those to him, okay?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
And again, go to Canvas, go all the way down to Friday. Last link on there just simply says quiz.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hold on. It's going to be important for you later.
Y'all, we got about 8 minutes till the bell will ring, so get the questions done, turn them in, and answer the the little quiz questions, okay, on Canvas. Y'all, also while you're answering all this stuff, I am going to hand you something. It is nothing that you have to work on. The last few days we did a little bit of notes on the articles, so I'm just going to give you a copy so you have some tangible notes, okay? That kind of summarize a lot of the stuff that we had talked about.